Hey everybody, we're starting a Google Hangout. Just waiting for a few more people here to enter the room. Managing a few technical issues here. I want to give you an update. In Boston, the FBI has released photos. I want to run through these photos. I want to discuss it with you. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We've put out quite a bit of content over the past 72 hours. Many of you caught some of our earlier videos. Stage tear, I go through the corroborating evidence, at least as the way that I see it. My take of what's happening in Boston, how that is correlated with what happened in Waco, which is actually taking a back seat to the Boston and the fugitive story of the suspects right now. There's been some official FBI photos released by the FBI. I'm going to go over these in a minute. I was actually watching CNN before this broadcast, and a gal by the name of Erin Burnett, you can see her right here. It's a side shot of her, Erin Burnett out front. She was, I believe, she was a CNBC anchor, I think recently just moved to CNN. And it was pretty interesting as she was talking on site in Boston about the attacks and about the fugitives and the recent released photos. I could hear one of the InfoWars reporters yelling over an intercom, saying things like false flag and, this isn't the truth, et cetera, et cetera. It was just kind of really cool and inspiring to hear those people on the ground and just hear the alternative media in general getting in these people's faces. And you could just see Erin Burnett, there was another gentleman, just get completely aggravated that their perfect little environment, was being disturbed. You could see the sweat kind of coming down their faces. And one of the gentlemen, actually, they had to go to a kind of an overlay shot. They couldn't show you what was going on behind the scenes, and they were making all kinds of noise, etc. And it's just, I don't know, it just kind of brings a smile to my face seeing the mainstream media perturbed, because they've had a monopoly on the news for decades now. They've been able to control and influence public opinion, and they're losing their grip. They're losing their grip on the media now. So it's very exciting from my perspective, from your perspective, I'm sure, to see that. Let me go back to the screen share. It looks like we've added about 100 people now. I still haven't figured out how to negotiate the chat with you. YouTube has changed some settings recently. I used to be able to do that. So we're working through that. But this is a pretty cool format where I can kind of just go through stream of conscious here and go through some of these reports. Let me go back to the screen share. Bring you back to this screen. So here we are at the Drudge Report. Of course, the FBI releases video, photos of two suspects. The images, Napolitano characterizes, I wouldn't characterize them as suspects under technical term. Americans living on edge, don't take any action on your own. One of the suspects is wearing a Bridgestone, or what looks to be a Bridgestone golf cap. This report is from ABC News. You can see here FBI releases images of suspects in Boston Marathon bombing. The FBI today released images of 2 suspects in the Boston Marathon bombing the Bureau still considers to be armed and extremely dangerous. Goes on and on here. You can see you can blow up some of the images. There is what appears to be a Caucasian male in a white ball cap, and then there looks to be a darker skinned male of what descent he is. Honestly, I really can't tell from the pictures. I don't know if the FBI has corroborated what they think the coloring of this particular individual is. Strangely enough, he's wearing a black ball cap. So the darker skinned suspect here, dark ball cap. The lighter skinned suspect, backwards white ball cap. He's got his backpack swung over one arm, very casually. That's what Aaron Burnett was talking about CNN. Isn't it amazing how casual they were holding these devices in their backpacks? Well, first of all, we don't even know if these were the perpetrators. This could just be, again, what the mainstream media, how they're crafting this picture. Again, they've backtracked on numerous suspects. I'm going to get to this in a moment, but basically CNN has been the worst reporting institution that really we have ever seen. It's just unbelievable how bad that it's been. Naming potential suspects, the gentleman that was located at the Revere Condominiums apartment complex. I talked about this earlier in our video today. Then they had to later retract on that. It appears that they're just covering up what the alternative media is discrediting. So let's go see here if we can go to more images. If we scroll down here, we go to the next page, Boston Marathon bombings. These are the official images. I'm going to go to some of the technically unofficial images in a minute because, again, there's a few connections here that do not make sense to me, at least. Here are the gentlemen again. I'm going to run through a few of the photos here. Here's the Caucasian male. That's actually a little bit better of a photo than I've seen. I'm zooming in the screen here. He's got, again, that backwards ball cap, very casual. Carrying the backpack on one arm. Go to the next photo here. This is what appeared to be in the other photograph, a darker skinned male, looking to me lighter skinned in this picture. It makes you wonder, are these images somehow doctored or something like that? It looks completely different than the image before it that I just showed you. Go to the next photo here. Again, it shows the backpack. They're trying to corroborate that these are the same packs. Here's another photo of the Caucasian-looking male. This is a side profile shot of the backwards ball cap. The second suspect, and on and on. Go back here to the split screen. So basically, the FBI is seeking the public's help. So what that means is they have no clue, basically. They do not know really who the perpetrators are. At least that's what they're trying to sell to us and sell to the American people. It says here, hoping the public will provide crucial clues. The FBI today released video and photos of 2 men who are suspected in Monday's deadly Boston Marathon terror bombings. Somebody out there knows these individuals as friends, neighbors, co-workers, or family members. A special agent in charge of the Boston FBI office says, though it may be difficult, the nation is counting on those with information to come forward and provide it to us. This FBI agent said that the 2 men shown strolling down a sidewalk behind marathon spectators and mingling in the crowd are considered extremely armed and dangerous. There's a video here. Let me go ahead and play this here so we can watch this together. This is from NBC News. There's one suspect. There's a second suspect. That happens pretty quick there. There's another shot from the back of both suspects, 1 and 2. So again, this is the official report. According to the FBI, even though they first identified a Saudi national, and now it's these gentlemen, supposedly. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. wanted to show you this here, and I'll read this to you. It says, one of the Boston Marathon bomb suspects was wearing a Bridgestone golf cap. So it appears, at least from what the FBI is telling us, that these are, it must be conservatives. We all know how conservatives like to play golf. Fairly expensive sport. You play it. George Carlin used to talk about it with a stick, and you try to hit the ball again and again. So they must be Republicans because, conservative Republicans are usually the suspects that play golf here. Let me show you this hat. I wish YouTube had a better split screen feature here. So here we go. You can see the Bridgestone ball cap. It says one of the two suspects being sought by the FBI in connection with the Boston Marathon bombings is wearing a cap with the Bridgestone golf logo. As seen in surveillance images released this afternoon, suspect's #1's black cap has a capital letter B on its front and a white chevron between the hat's bill and crown. As seen below, a photo taken by a race spectator captured the suspect as he walked past the Forum restaurant on Boylston Street, if I'm saying that correctly, where the second explosion occurred. That image shows the back of the man's cap contained 4 white figures, likely B330. As seen here, a similar black Bridgestone cap carries those numbers, a reference to the company's B330 golf cap. Well, this is really good news for Bridgestone. This is actually incredible. I mean, think about the free advertising that they're getting right now. Doesn't it make you want to go out, every American, go get your Bridgestone ball cap now? So this is really incredible free advertising here. Go back to those images. In the meantime, of course, the Senate had shot down, which I am very happy, shot down, didn't get the 60 votes needed to pass this gun legislation through, this authoritarian Obama, I want to steal all your guns and rape you just because it's what I want to do, and I have no respect or regard for the U.S. Constitution or the Second Amendment. Harry Reid, one of these other corroborators or collaborators who really just hates America and hates the Constitution, has temporarily had to shelve the expanded gun purchase background check. Says Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid announced Thursday he's placing expanded gun purchase background checks on ICE, bringing a sudden halt to a months-long debate as he and other gun control advocates nevertheless vowed to fight another day. Mr. Reid said Thursday that after speaking with President Obama, the best option going forward after the measure was defeated in the Senate Wednesday was to hit pause and regroup. To hit pause and hit regroup. Now, I mentioned this. I had a lot of liberals, call me yesterday and tell me, hey, Christopher, it appears that the system's working. Isn't this great? You say you always fear tactic, us liberals here that Obama's coming after the guns, but hey, it looks like the branches of government are working. And my response to that is, well, fantastic. I mean, I'm very proud of the Senate for shooting down this gun legislation, which is the most anti-constitutional legislation, in my opinion, in the history of America. But that still leaves open the door, and this is what I shot back to some of my friends where, we just have the tendency to disagree with each other politically, was that President Barack Obama still has executive order. Still has his, I'm going to bypass the Constitution because I can, and I'm just a gangbanger, so I'm going to do it, just like he decided to murder Muammar Gaddafi, kill people like Anwar al-Awlaki without a fair trial. He still has that privilege. Sure enough, what I tweeted next to my friends here actually just a few hours ago, let me take you to this. This is from Vice President Idiot Joe Biden. Let's see if we can go to this here. He says, the president is already lining up some additional executive actions for guns. Well, there you go. That's exactly what I told you. This president's going to use executive action. If you haven't already, you really should watch our breaking documentary. Let me go here, our website here. It's got over 200,000 plus views. It's only been released for about a month or so. Let me go here to the documentary section. Here you can just click mini docs. Here it is right here, the executive. Notice how it's titled The Executive for executive order, executive privilege. Watch it. It's our first attempt here at AMTV at a full-length documentary, and you know what? I think we did a pretty damn good job with it. So thanks to all of you for sharing it. So Biden here says that the President of the United States is preparing to take executive actions to deal with guns. Vice President Biden told White House allies in the gun control fight Thursday that President Obama will be announcing new executive actions on gun violence in the days after the Senate voted down a gun violence bill. On a conference call with stakeholders, Biden told gun control advocates that the fight is not over and that eventual action on gun control will come. Press were not invited to the conference call. Our participant provided BuzzFeed with access. Here's another quote. It says, "Look, I know what you're going to say, that I'm just being an optimist. I'm trying to put a good face on this, but you know, I've been around here a long time, and we've already done, because of you, some really good things. Number one, the president is already lining up some additional executive actions he's going to be taking later this week." Now, we are constantly told by these criminals, we are constantly told by them that this is what the American people want. This is what the American people want. They want to give up their guns, is what they tell us, which could not be anything further from the truth. You know, I mentioned the story of the baseball player, the professional ball player, who came out, I believe, today or maybe it was yesterday, and basically said, yeah, President Obama's coming out for the guns. I mean, so this is just about as mainstream as it possibly can get. Any knowledgeable American with any knowledge of the Republic and the Constitution and our value system here in the U.S. Doesn't want their guns banned. So that's just complete bullshit. You know, we just got to get real here and be honest. Bullshit, 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 Joe Biden. Bullshit. Speaking of which, isn't vice president just a bullshit job? I mean, what do you do? Just kind of, you know, give an occasional speech and play the back seat to the president? No wonder Biden's always creating such a ruckus and mentioning, you know, terms like NWO or New World Order to, you know, just kind of piss off the conspiracy crowd, as they like to, you know, call a lot of these people, which, you know, to be honest, I don't even consider myself a conspiracy theorist at all. I just consider myself a truth seeker. Let's go here to the next screen share, see if I can go ahead and pull this up here. It says mind-boggling details emerge about ricin letter suspects. So again, more terror, in addition to Boston, in addition to Waco, now poison being sent, this ricin letters. I'm not going to get into a whole lot of detail of this suspect, but again, you're the terrorist now. Be afraid, Christian and a Democrat. I'm surprised it doesn't say Republican on it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So be afraid. You are the criminal. You are the terrorist. Now, I wanted to get into a little bit about CNN and their media shrug at Boston blunders. Now, again, CNN has done about the most horrible job and has given some of the most inaccurate reports literally in the history of mainstream media bullshit. It really is incredible here, and I'm going to read this to you here if I can get back to here. It says, the inaccurate report by CNN and other news organizations about an arrest in the Boston bombing case was arguably one of the most flagrant errors in a story of major national consequence in years. When the news organization later corrected their mistakes, there seemed to be something missing. Any big shows of contrition, or even a sense of the magnitude of the error. Jon Stewart slammed CNN last night, just totally tore him up a new asshole. It was actually pretty hilarious. I encourage you to watch that. But I really want to show you here, and this is what I want to leave this intermediate broadcast today, is again, the FBI. The FBI is giving us this, you know, specific story. They're telling us, you know, these are the suspects. Ignore any other evidence. Ignore all these other photos coming on the internet, the internet sleuths. Avoid all other analysis. Just take the official story from the government that always and typically and is a historical track record of lying to you on a continual basis. So, you know, that's a laughing matter for all of us. That's a laughing matter for you. That's a laughing matter for any American that's knowledgeable, or any person around the world tuning in right now knowledgeable about what's really going on. But this is what doesn't make sense here. And let's go back to the screen share. This is Blacklisted News. They've been doing a really great job. Topher Morrison, our contributor here at AMTV News, mentioned to me this. Kraft International, I reported on this yesterday. Who are these guys? Who are these guys? Let me zoom in here. Who are these people? Because these people look very suspicious to me. These people look like suspects. wearing the Kraft International. This is a Chris Kyle style ball cap. They are clearly dressed in uniform. Clearly have the military-grade khaki pants. Got 2 backpacks full. Yep, got 2 potentially explosive devices there. One hanging by one arm strap here, the other one with 2. Same as what the photos they were just showing us. Military-grade boots. Talking into their earphones here. What are they doing? Setting off a detonation device. There's an image of Chris Kyle. They're showing, again, Kraft International, etc. I went over a lot of this yesterday and actually earlier this morning, so please watch those videos, get up to speed so I do not have to repeat myself. 3 of the men appear to be of Arab or Middle Eastern in appearance. This is according to Blacklisted News. We go back to the hangout here. Whereas another 2 of the individuals are white. The images show the men looking away from the marathon runners where one of the bombs exploded. The FBI states that at least one of the pressure cooker devices used in the bombing was housed in a backpack. Some of these men may have merely been victims, but the image of the 2 men standing together wearing the same clothes and carrying heavy backpacks and wearing credentials suggests they may have been involved in a drill or in the actual attack. One of the individuals, a white man whose backpack was found at the scene of the bombing, looks badly dressed and disheveled. So, okay, I got to go back to these images and show you here because this is truly... they're calling these other gentlemen suspicious. Take a look at these shots. You got a Caucasian male running. Here's a 3rd one of them. They said that there's 4 here, according to Blacklisted News, and the internet's loose, and these photographic, graphic images, which I believe provide corroborating evidence that this needs to be investigated. Same uniform, military boots, military pants, backpack, running away with a detonating by electronic. Here's another image of the detonator, possible detonator. What is he holding in his hand? So many unanswered questions here. So many problems with the official standard story that we're getting to list, and it doesn't smell right, America. It just doesn't smell right. It's not my goal to, lead the conspiracy movement or anything like that, or, look too far into things or anything of that nature. It's my job to go with my gut, call it like I see it, no matter the consequence. I've never viewed this as a popularity contest. I really don't give a shit about that, to be honest. There's only one thing I care about. There's only one thing that we care about here at AMTV. That's the truth. Bottom line. I don't care which direction it points. If we're looking into this, then this points into a legitimate terror attack, and what the FBI is corroborating to the public looks to be the truth. Then we'll certainly present that evidence to you, our viewer. That's our job. So. Pretty amazing. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I'd like to hear what you think. Hit it in the comment section below. Also, I'll get this up in an archived version right after this broadcast. If you missed the live show, I can see we have about 200 viewers. Again, thank you for getting the truth out. Thank you for sharing our videos. Our content, we have had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views on our websites, AMTV and greenwave.com. Over the past few days, there is definitely increased interest in this because it's affecting people's safety. Americans are anxious. Americans are worried. As I said before in the original video this morning, about 25-minute analysis and breakdown of how I think that the Waco blast, the fertilizer blast, is connected to the Boston massacre and the Boston explosions. What's most concerning to me right now as a reporter, what's most concerning to many of you, and I've been reading your tips and getting your emails, comments, etc., is where does the next shoe drop? Where does the next bomb go off? Because these events, in my opinion, have been sequenced at a very high frequency to raise the terror level to a point of honestly where the American people cave. The fear is so high that they can't take it. The federal government has no other choice. President Barack Obama has no other choice but to use executive power, and the American people will back down in time of fear. Now, it is a time of crisis when our nation is in crisis and in peril. We need to be the watchdogs of this country, and we cannot be afraid to question the official story. or the truth, or to get into the faces of our politicians or the media. These are the times, these crisis times, as chaotic, as controversial as they are. And it's the reason why I've been pushing this so passionately over the past few days. I've been literally working around the clock. Many of you can probably tell I've not been getting a lot of sleep. There's a reason why I'm beating myself up and beating what we do into the ground here, because this is some of the most important reporting and investigative work we have ever done. Again, it's times of crisis and it's times of peril that we need to hold our leadership accountable. And we have to be especially cognizant of what's happening around us. Ask questions. Do critical thinking. Not take the official story at face value. Again, this is about the truth. And this is about, as a alternative media independent news organization, corroborating that evidence to you so that you can make your own decisions and you can decide for yourself. What's amazing about what I do is, a lot of the reports and a lot of the insight comes from you. That's what's so amazing about our media platform, is just the transparency of what we do now. So, thank you so much. We've actually had quite a few donations come in over the past few days. I just want to thank all of you personally, sincerely. I've touched base with you, sent you emails, etc. Thank you. Thank you for the support. It goes into our equipment here. As I mentioned yesterday, we had our servers inundated. We're getting an abnormal volume of views, which it's fantastic, but quite frankly, can the equipment handle it? No. Those donations also go towards, and as well as our sponsors that support us. Please support them. Goes into everything that we're trying to do here to build ourselves out as a legitimate, which I believe we already are, news organization. So, I'm very excited. Please support our sponsors. I talk about all the time supporting the economy of the Liberty Movement. We have brought on quite a few new sponsors in the past few weeks. Taco Rack, TacoRack.com. Please check them out. They've got an amazing product. Just please support the Liberty economy. These people support us. They support you. They support me, etc. And we need to start encouraging that among each other. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll get this up in just a few minutes. Great seeing all of you in the live broadcast here. As always, I'm Christopher Green, hard-hitting and in your face.